YouTube. So I'm trying to think of a nice, like, opening. I don't want to try and take someone else's. So if you guys have any ideas on what I could say to open the videos, please leave a comment. But so today we're going to be talking about Gothic books. These are books I've either read or own because I've seen the movies and just want to own books because it's a book. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13 something books. Might have to make this into 2 parts, don't know yet. The first book, which was mentioned, or someone left a comment about in my last video, is Gothic Charm School. It is Gothic Charm School and a guide for Goths and those who love them. Mind you, none of these are sponsored. But this book I like. It's kind of like just tips and like one of my favorite things so far is like for baby Goths on like how to treat parents that are Goth and like that, and like later in the chat in some of the chapters it's about the fashion. But I like the point of view it's coming from, very interesting, and the art style is very cool. Let me find, this might take a minute, because my bookmark wants to open it like, see we got like a Gothic wedding. Love the art, so yes, this is definitely a good book to read. She also has a YouTube and I think a website that you have to check out, also called Gothic Charm School. The next book I know technically isn't Goth, but it's about my favorite Disney villain, so we're doing it. It's called Evil Thing. Kind of like a background story that we never knew existed. I have it in chapter and graphic novel. Obviously it's a black book with red, so if you're just looking for looks, I think it would be. It's kind of like the backstory of Cruella. The pictures, let me get a good page to open on. There. So the book is also only in black, red, and white, the graphic novel. So that's very interesting that I really like. And this one, obviously, I'm pretty sure the pages were originally white. You can't tell they've turned yellow because we burned with wood at my house, so. But yeah, love the backstory. It kind of explains like how she got her fur coat and all that, and how her and Anita met, essentially. So yeah, definitely a must for Disney fans, or Disney villain fans. Sorry if it seems sped up, I want to try to put these all in the same video. The next one is by the same author. I think it's like, they all connect, I think, but this is Mistress of All Evil, about Maleficent, and it's also the backstory. This book has been beat up, but it's also kind of like the backstory that we never knew existed. Definitely does not tie with the Maleficent movies, but there are other books like Poor Unfortunate Souls, Mother Knows Best, about any villain you can think of, but she also has the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and I don't think he's technically a villain, and there's one other character that I thought was odd to be a villain. And the cool thing about these, if you get them in hardcover, how they have those sheets, you lift it up, and it's like a different face. Like for Cruella, it's this face, and then like when she's driving the car mad, this one is like, I think it turns to a dragon, like the evil queen, it's like her, and then the witch version of her. So very interesting. The next one is a series that I didn't, 2-book series I didn't even know existed until I went to school here. It's literally called The Ghost and the Goth. And then we have Queen of the Dead, which is the second one. I'd say they're very cliche, kind of funny. I've only gotten a few chapters in, and then got called the Charm School, so I've kind of been off and on. But the only thing I don't understand is that the character himself, obviously, like, the way he's described is like a stereotypical Goth, but he states that he isn't Goth. I don't know if that's just because he doesn't want to identify it, or because he's actually not Goth. People just assume he is because he's wearing all black. But his friend is, I feel like just by description, her style is punk, but obviously that's whatever she wants to identify as, but she has like safety pins through her ears and like ripped clothing, that kind of style, and it's very, very interesting. And I was like, I like her, even though she has a minor role. But yeah, obviously, it's like about a goth kid that can see ghosts, and the ghost happens to be the popular cheerleader lady. I believe it's cheerleader. I forget, but yeah, kind of a basic stereotype thing, but still an interesting book. What do we want to do next? The next one is a little obvious, Dracula. I have Bram Stoker's Dracula, the full book, but my school only had the summed up version. So definitely, if you're a goth parent with baby bats, this one is a good, because the reading level, the words are very big and not much words, so it's definitely good for little baby bats. They can definitely enjoy Dracula without having to read the whole book. And if you've ever seen the movie, you know that trying to sit there for 2 hours straight watching a movie is not easy. I had to do a 2-part on that thing. It took forever. But yeah, definitely a good book. The pictures are also very, very cool. I'll try and show pictures for books that have pictures, just so you can get like a general idea of the art styles. The next one is a book from, well, I got from the library. It's called Gothica. It is a, oh, I'm gonna butcher this name. It's a dictionary. I'm sorry, big words. It's a dictionary for Gothic words, which I thought was funny. Like they have cemetery, candelabra, Bauhaus. It's like things that are in the Gothic subculture. If you don't know what that is, or like if it's a band, you can look up bands. Like they had World Goth Day in here, Mall Goth. They had the another festival, the Lost Boys. Like any Gothic movies, Tim Burton's in here, Halloween. Just like the words are in here, and then it gives like a kind of a definition of what it is in the style. Obviously, it's not like a normal dictionary, which I love, but also I love the pages. I don't know if you see it, but they're kind of tasseled to make it look older, and it just looks cool. I don't own this book yet. I want to buy it. Most of these books I own like the Cruella and the Mistress of All Evil. The other books I showed you are all from our library, but I wanted to get them so you could all see them. Another one, which is it's kind of for anybody who likes mysterious. I have a lot of steampunk friends who like this book. It's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Also, any of the movies with these books will also work too, but I'll probably do a movie thing later, maybe after this, maybe, I don't know. I kind of need like ideas of what to do, because I want to do vlogs, but obviously you can't carry around a 50-ton camera everywhere. Exaggeration. But yeah, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The description is like pretty much just a boy who finds like, I want to say a secret society that his father used to know, and they're all different. Like there's a girl who can float, a girl with like a mouth in the back of her head, so very odd. And so anybody who likes like mysterious and weird things, and like the pictures, they have pictures in here that are actually old photos that I'm pretty sure inspired the movie. Like this one, it looks all normal, but her foot is like curved slightly, which is apparently odd, but I don't know. It's a good book. I think this is a series, or there's just other books by the same author that have the same kind of cover. The next one, this one I'm pretty sure was a movie before it became a book, but it's Frankenweenie, which is a Tim Burton motion picture. What I love is that the pages are black with white lettering. I don't think you get more Gothic than that. I'd say this is also kind of at a younger reading level, so also good for baby bats. I don't know the reading level though, but yeah, definitely a good book. If it's about a boy who his dog dies and their last name's Frankenstein, which I thought was interesting, and brings the dog back to life. And in the movie, it's also all black and white. And the science teacher is not voiced by Vincent Price, but his design looks like it could be Vincent Price. But yeah, very interesting. Obviously, anything by Tim Burton, I'm pretty sure is good for goth people, or anybody else who's darkly inclined. Sorry if I say the word goth too much, but being a goth YouTuber, kind of gonna happen. The next one has goth in it. It is American Gothic Short Stories. This is a book of just several poems put together. You can obviously get the book separately. The ones in here that are my favorite, which have their own books, are The Telltale Heart, which was my first Edgar Allan Poe poem that I read. Surprisingly, not The Raven. Did read The Raven eventually. Loved it too. And then my math or art teacher recommended The Yellow Wallpaper, which is also a good one. I don't really know how to describe them because they're poems. It took me a few times to read them to understand what was happening because that's just the way I am. But they have other ones that are like different colors and I just think have different poems in them. So yeah, you can also obviously go online and look for specific poems. Like you can get a whole book of Edgar Allan Poe. I had one from the library. It was a whole thing of Edgar Allan Poe poems. But the book was pink. So I thought that was weird. These next two, and then I have like another series. These next two are for kind of for younger audiences, but obviously it doesn't matter who reads them. This one is Emily the Strange. It's about a girl who has amnesia and is trying to figure out who she is. It never states that she is goth, but I mean she's wearing all black, and the art style is kind of gothic. Obviously, she lives with cats, black cats. So, but the book is also black with red lettering, which is good. Good to have like gothic colors, I would say, but it doesn't have to. Like here's like a house in it, and it wasn't my favorite book, but I thought I should mention it. It's written like a diary, so it's like reading someone's diary, which took me a while to even get into it. I think there's also a series. I just only have the one book. That's all our library had. Oh, and there's a book series I forgot. A mention which I don't own. I don't have at the moment. I think it's called Blood Relatives. It's about vampires. It's kind of in like a Japanese style, but you read it like the normal way. But it is also very good, very interesting. Only 3 books, but very cool. But yes, Emily Strange. And if you're wondering why I'm not saying the author's names, it's because A, they're not sponsored, B, I don't want to butcher their names, and I'm pretty sure if you just look up the titles, you'll find it. This one I've had since I was a baby bat. It is called Nightmares. Not really, there's no gothic characters, it's about nightmares and spooky things, so it's just about a kid who can't sleep and has nightmares a lot, and he thinks his mother is a witch. And like he travels to like the nightmare realm, or I forget what they call it exactly, but yeah, the art is definitely, and this is there's like some classic monsters in here. If I can find it, Medusa is in here. Yeah, Medusa. And ironically, in this book, it describes her as having a house with all mirrors, like every wall is a mirror. But since she always wears sunglasses, it doesn't bother her because obviously she cares about her looks. The next series is about vampires. If you know why I'm pausing, it's because I like it. Not a lot of goths do, and if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But we have Twilight. Yes, Twilight. A lot of people don't like it because it's not the normal vampire rules, but I mean, it was creative. I cried during the last 2 movies because I thought my favorite characters were dying. And mind you, my favorite character is the one that can see the future because I don't know, she's just cool. But the book itself, it's like all black with white and just pops of red, which I thought were kind of gothic. Pretty much what I think they're going for. I never understood why it was an apple on the cover, because an apple never comes up in the series, and neither does like ribbons. I think it was just. And in this book, is Breaking Dawn, but it must be an older or different copy because it doesn't have the. And I forget, I accidentally watched the movie in the wrong order. I had watched the first one, the third one, then the second one because I didn't realize that you have to turn to the back and read in very tiny print if it was the first, second, or third chapter, which I hated. And I only own 3 of the movies. So, yeah, kind of just show the books again as I'm putting them back on my tiny table. So yeah, some of these are definitely better, or well, good for any audience, but some of them are definitely for younger audience. Others might not be technically really Gothic, but villains, so. But yeah, so I think next I'm going to do movies. Might take me a minute though, because since I do these at school, I don't know how I feel about transporting movies that are very fragile to school. But I will try for you guys. But yeah, if you guys have any like tips or not really tips, but like notions of what I should talk about, because like I want to talk about the Gothic subculture, but because I'm younger, I think I don't really know as much as I should, so I'm still learning. And also, every Goth channel has videos that talks about like the subculture, like to an wow, I don't know how to describe that. Like they talk about stereotypes and how Goth people aren't like the stereotypes, but everyone does that. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to mention it again. I just feel like, you know, I'm doing the stereotypical Goth thing. Everyone else is doing it, so I don't want to do it. Yeah. Definitely, a few of these have the word Goth in it. Just so you know, just because it has the word Goth in it does not mean it's a real Gothic book. But obviously, to each their own. And again, Dracula. I was looking at other books that are more for elementary. Like there's The Spider and the Fly, which is all in black and white. Continuing. There was Spider and the Fly, which was always in black. It was all in black and white. There's several. I'm pretty sure if you go into any library and go into the Halloween section of the children's books, I know you'll find some that are about Halloween and some that just have like a vampire or just darker aesthetic that they just assume is going to be Halloween. There were several books growing up that I was kind of forced to read to get my reading level up. Never liked them, and then my stepmom said that if there's a book I like and I'll actually read it, she'll just buy it for me. And that was Nightmares. It was kind of like my first hint into kind of Gothic writing. Not really, but definitely was a good start. So yeah, I would say for baby bats, kind of start. You can start with any book, but if you want like a real kind of normal Gothic, my screen went out a while ago. Definitely would want to go with the younger Dracula. And there's also like the vampires don't like there's a book series, I forget the names of them, but it's like about teachers that the students think are monsters, like Zombies Don't Coach Gym or something like that. And they're also, I think, would be interesting because they're about monsters. And there were there's like, instead of like the 5 little monkeys, it's like 5 little bats. And then there's like Mother Ghost or something, so you can find any of them. But yeah, that is all for this video. Thank you for sticking with me on a channel that doesn't do much. Dying. But yeah, I'm getting toasty in this thing. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Kind of get me out there. Don't really have to. Your decision. I have TikTok, which is MasonGore7. I have a lot more followers on there. I wish that my followers on TikTok would follow me on YouTube, but not everyone likes to sit here for a video. And truth be told, the YouTubers I watch, I listen to them or watch the video. I might do a video talking about other Gothic YouTubers, even though they're not sponsored. And obviously, I don't know if I don't know if I have to have permission to talk about their channels. But yeah, I'll talk about the YouTubers I follow, why I follow them, and how cool they are. But I'll either do that first, well, not how cool they are, they're all cool, they're all amazing. One I follow also writes music, so if you know who I'm talking about, you'll know more in the next video or a video in the future. But yeah, goodbye. Woo. Woo.